so. Spot. Stay up in front. What's up, man? How you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Heard you kick ass with the teacher.
Yeah.
Really get me.
A conspiracy was made against Caesar by more than 60 senators. Gaius Cassius, Marcus Brutus, and Decimus Brutus were the principal leaders. After the Senate had been summoned on the Ides of March to the Hall of Pompey, these men decided that the time and place was suitable. As Caesar entered the hall and was sitting down, they surrounded him under the guise of paying their respects. When he realized that he was surrounded by drawn daggers, he covered his head with his toga, and at the same time with his left hand drew the fold of his toga down to his ankles, so that he might fall more decorously covered. He was stabbed by 23 blows. As his friend, Marcus Brutus, finally rushed in to stab him, Caesar said to him, "Et tu, Brute?" Even you, Brutus? After all the bystanders and the senators had fled off in different directions, Caesar lay there, lifeless, for quite a while, until 3 slaves finally placed him on a litter, his arm hanging over the side, and carried him home. There is one point that has been clearly agreed upon by almost all authorities, that such a death came to Caesar almost according to his own wish. For at one time, after reading about how Cyrus the Great had planned his own funeral, Caesar said that he would prefer a sudden and unexpected death, which he felt to be the most comfortable type. Julius Caesar died 2,057 years ago today, Idibus Martis, on the Ides of March.
I tried to tell him not to go to the Senate House. I knew that something horrible and terrible would happen. And it did! It did! Caesar, why can't you listen to me? Oh, tempora.
Salvete, hail to all of you.
I am Clotho.
And I am Lachesis.
And I am Atropos.
Some know us as the Parcae, and others as the Fates, others as the Weavers, and some as Destiny, for we are the sisters 3.
I, Clotho, mold that very precious substance called life.
And I, Lachesis, jar life's thread and set the seeds.
But in the end, no matter how great and rich the substance just may be, no matter how long the course traveled, I, Atropos, will set my shears. And we will help her too, capriciously, at some spot along the unknown given length, and together we'll snip and end the race for every living thing. Not Jupiter, Zeus, Hera, or Juno can stop our weaver's hand. So it is, and so it has come to Caesar, who has met his given fate!
Romans, countrymen, lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for my honor, and have respect for my honor, so you may believe. Censor me in your wisdom. Awaken your senses, so you may the better judge. If there be anybody in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to whom I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his, then if that friend asks why Brutus rose against Caesar, I tell him this. Not that my love to Caesar was less, but my love to Rome was more. Had you rather Caesar be alive and die as slaves, or that Caesar be dead and live as free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There are tears for Caesar's love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, but death for his ambition.
Caesar was
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do live after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it, here under the leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral? He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept! Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal. I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it comes back to me.
Death to the conspirators.
Kaiser more to assist!
Kaiser more to assist!